So how's it going for Donald today? Um, it's an interesting question. He can't get anything through Congress. His Congress can't get anything through Congress. You know, he refuses to go bipartisan, or rarely does. And he, even if he wants to, Republican Congress is unwilling to. Um, so, if they start, he can do things. If they start to actually do bipartisan things, then yeah, then he'll be able to get things done. Now, they may not be his things because he doesn't have the staff that can pull off his things. Well, maybe. No, his things are, you know, the way he wants them done are undoable. Thank God. But he could still do interesting and great things. Not with the current staff he has, um, and not with the current Congress he has, because the current Republican Congress is unwilling to make deals, and so are the Democrats. So he's got to be able to go beyond that. It's possible. With his staff, it's not likely. Bessent might be able to. The OMB director, no, not a chance. Miller, not a chance. And his chief of staff, maybe, doubt it. She hasn't been able to assert control yet, um, so I mean, there are people who can, but the yeah, there's too much dead and stupid weight in the White House. So there's nothing legislative that Trump can do. Administratively, the permanent government's not going to let him get away with much, unless they're in on it. And right now, I mean, Homeland Security is the one that's actively being looked at. Everything else is pretty much, on autopilot, which is not good constitutionally, but it's probably fine. The smart members of the smart members of the cabinet, know enough about the way the town works to let the permanent government do what it needs to do. Only Homeland Security is being stupid about what they're doing. So, yeah, it's a shame because it's actually harming people. But yeah, I haven't heard anybody else. Agriculture tried a little to go off the rails and got zapped. But the Secretary of Transportation and NASA, they're doing a good job because the secretary is actually, you know, knows his way around town. Um, and the others, if they've been doing damage, it's been under the radar. And if it were really damaging, it wouldn't be under the radar. People would be hitting the streets, so it would have been covered. So there's that, and so that let's see how Homeland Security is doing, and the general budget's doing. It's not doing well. He's losing everywhere on everything. All the immigration cases he's losing. The Department of Justice stuff he's losing badly, especially when the Department of Justice is doing immigration stuff. Uh, FBI has become a joke at some levels. Mostly there are FBI agents who know how to keep their heads down and make sure that things get done when they need to get done, and they just leave Trump world alone. And they've the appointed people have bright shiny objects they're dealing with, and everybody else is left alone. So um, yeah, so yeah, administratively you know his impact is really in the courtroom. He's losing badly there. So where is he doing well? He's not. He could. He needs to employ somebody with vision somebody who could maybe do a decent tax cut, not just, the little bit. I mean, the tax cut that passed was a little was the stuff on the edges that was put in for show, but it, some things were made permanent that needed to be. The stuff that needed to be repealed was already permanent. That being the business taxation, which was bipartisan, with a nod and a wink. It didn't look bipartisan, but it couldn't have been passed the way it did without being some bipartisan enough that people said, yeah, we need to cut, corporate profits taxes, which is what they used to be called, corporate income taxes, and fix the rest later. And, Biden tried to. He didn't have the votes, and he probably didn't have the will, and he didn't have the bandwidth. So it was a lost presidency. About the time that he could have done something, he wasn't able to do anything. So it's up to this president. He would. I don't think taxing wealthy in a different way, or taxing business in a different way would be something he'd agreed to, unless he could. Besant might, though. If he were to let Besant have his way and or be actively involved in it, I think Besant doesn't have. Besant's associates wouldn't want any change, which is too bad because if he wants to be great, doing something about tax policy would make him great. Raising the minimum wage would make him great. Increasing the child tax credit would make him great. But yeah, he has no interest in that. His presidency has gone from being effective to being a tantrum. So far, the best thing about Ukraine is that he got out of the way of the military and Europe actually doing something. The peace plan, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. Apparently it's being negotiated into a form that's working and that they're tricking Putin into going along with. Putin's having an existential crisis. And he knows that. He just, in deep in his heart, he's unwilling to admit it to himself. But yeah, that thing's going to be settled with, Trump may be able to have an impact. Rubio's probably having an impact. Hegseth, he's an embarrassment. Yeah, he needs to go. The whole illegal orders thing, that was not aimed at Trump, it was aimed at Hegseth. Of course, Hegseth is upset about it because he's already got, persecution complex because he knows he doesn't belong there. And he knows that everybody else knows he doesn't belong there. So yeah, he's gonna, the whole unlawful orders, it wasn't directed as much at Trump as it was at Hegseth. So yeah, he's having everything he does is a tantrum. He's got a whiny voice whenever he speaks, and it's he's one ongoing tantrum. So yeah, PD Hegseth is. I mean, if Trump had really good staff, OMB director, attorney general, Homeland Security chief, and Secretary of War, would be gone. He'd fire them. They would resign. They would find some way to be at somewhere else. Frankly, if he wants to get the confidence of people, he'd fire them. Or they could be impeached. I mean, the Republicans need to know that if they want to come out of it looking at historically any good, and maybe, just maybe, have a chance to keep the majority, which is probably You know, Schumer smells blood in the water, so he's not going to really do anything bipartisan either, which is a mistake. That's Schumer being Schumer. Because I think if nobody was watching, the votes to get rid of the aforementioned cabinet officials would be pretty easy. I mean, yeah, if nobody were watching, they get rid of the president too. So, yeah, those were, but Trump should fire them. Usually they're not worth impeaching because if they ever get to the Senate trial phase, they'll resign. And all that takes is, to impeach them. The Republicans are running out of votes. It takes 2 or 3 Republicans to say, you know what, we can't handle this anymore, to actually impeach, do articles of impeachment against the band of horribles that is embarrassing the president. And we had one rule in the administration that I served in D.C. city government. Don't embarrass the mayor. Whatever you do, don't embarrass the mayor. Don't make the mayor look bad. Don't harm the mayor's legacy. Trump's people don't know that one. So Trump is failing. If he fired everybody who embarrassed him publicly, he could salvage his thing. Although he embarrasses himself publicly, so I don't know if he has agency in that matter. Melania, where are you? Can you please get these people fired? Unless Melania is in on the joke, or believes in it. I mean, she might. Yeah, she might. She's a model. She's Trump's conscious, but and she can be effective as an operative, but if she knows what she's doing or not is another thing. Does she have the education and training to know how to run a government? No. If she sees that her people are embarrassing the president, she might do something. It's a calculated risk for her. So, yeah. And as I've said before, she is the power behind the throne, and she just has to pick the right lordlings to support. Right now, she's letting the wrong ones stay around. So Melania, if you're hearing this, somebody on Melania's staff is hearing this, if somebody who likes Melania or the president is hearing this and wishes them well, have them watch this video. Have them talk to Melania. So that's the way in. There's no other way in. Talking to Donald's not going to work. Melania can talk to Donald, but yeah, somebody's got Melania's ear and is concerned about and can talk to her concerns about Trump's position in history. Things could change. Things wouldn't be an embarrassment. Right now, they're an embarrassment. Whenever Hegseth opens his whiny mouth, he's embarrassing the president. He has a register that's high and desperate, and why are you doing this to me? Oh, no. Mr. Frickin' Bill, man. Oh, no. He's just below Mr. Bill in registry. So, yeah. It's people who should be fired. So, yeah. So happy Thanksgiving. Bye.